Hi everybody, welcome to Dynamo Sword Channel. I'm David, and today on Dynamo Sword Channel I will be presenting a sword re-review of the Musashi Shirakawa Dragon Katana. This sword is a sword I purchased over 10 years ago and initially reviewed on the SBGForum. So, how has this sword held up over the years, and what does it say about Musashi brand katana compared to other katana on the market today? Well, stay tuned and we'll find out. This sword classifies as a katana, a specific type of two-handed curved single-edged sword originating in Japan. Historically, the katana sees its origins stem from the Chinese Dao, which influenced the early predecessor of the katana, the karataichi, which in later years developed into the uchi katana down to the katana of the Edo period. This specific sword is not based on any historical replica, but its aesthetic and koshire would fit well from the late Sengoku era through the Edo period. The blade is of the shinogi zukuri type and features a single bowhide or fuller and is differentially hardened with a simple gunome hamon. The koshire is simple and more reminiscent of the traditional uchi katana style koshire. Now let's look at the overall statistics of this sword. So the overall length of this sword is 39.5 inches. It has a weight of 2.25 pounds and a point of balance right at about 4 inches from the hilt. The class is what could be considered an Edo period katana. The blade length is 27.25 inches, and that is the total nagasa. The blade width above the hibaki is 1.25 inches, and that tapers to 3/4 inch at the kisaki. The material is differentially hardened 1060 high carbon steel. It has a maru or single steel lamination, and the body polish is mirror. The hamon is a gunome hamon pattern style, and it has a sori of 1 inch. The kisaki is 1 3/4 inch and is of the ko-kisaki termination. The blade type or style is what would be known as the shinogi zukuri blade style. The tsuba dimensions is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. The material is a blackened iron. The hibaki is 1 inches in length and is a single piece of brass. The seppa are of the coin fret style and are also made of brass. The style of tsuba is what is known as the maru gata style, and it has a nice dragon theme to it. The tsuka stats, the tsuka's total length is 11 inches. The circumference at the base of the tsuka is 4 1/4 inches, and that tapers to 3 3/4 inches at the Kashira. The Suka material is wood core, and it does feature natural white Samagawa panels and are of the smaller node variety. The Ito is cotton and is wrapped in the Hineri Maki style, and then the Nakago or tang length is 8 inches. The Fuchi is a blackened brass in the Uchi Katana style with a dragon theme to match the Suba. The Kashira is also blackened brass in the Uchi Katana style and also features a dragon theme as with the other koshire of the sword. The Menuki are made of brass and are of the Buddha spear style. The hilt construction is double pinned mikugi, as is seen on most production katana. The Saya's total length is 29.5 inches. Its material is hardwood, and it has a burgundy finish. The Koiguchi is blackened buffalo horn, and the Kurigata is wood. There is no Koijiri, and the Sagio is a black cotton. As far as its fit for being a 10-year-old Saya, it actually fits very well, just as when I originally got it, and holds the blade very tight. In my opinion, this, especially for the sub $200 price point, was an amazingly fit Saya. Now, next up, I will have some cutting footage with this sword, and then we'll move on to final thoughts. Hi and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the cutting footage. As you can see, this sword, for one, so old, has plenty of life left in it, in regards to its cutting capability. For a sword a decade old, this sword has held up very well, and this shows that when properly taken care of, how one of these budget Musashi Katana can last as a functional cutting sword. A lot of this has to do with the minor details that make this line of swords stand out. Sure, they're not the most attractive katana on the market, nor are they the most durable, but for medium to light cutters, this brand gets a lot right with their manufacturing process and assembly. For starters, the blade is of a simple maru lamination with a high mirror polish. Obviously not the most intricate and attractive compared to other high-end katanas, but this simplicity works regarding keeping costs down and the manufacturing process simple. Many budget manufacturers end up with flawed swords simply by trying to offer too much for what their manufacturing costs allow. Using a quality mid-grade steel like 1060 also benefits this simple process, offering a durable blade without much risk regarding heat treatment and structural failure. This blade is also differentially hardened, which adds to its aesthetic and function, allowing some traditional feature to the katana. The hamon is simple though, and enhanced with acid to show its pattern through the mirror polish. The kasaki is a simple ko-kasaki termination and is not geometric. The bohai or fuller is clean and straight, but does terminate poorly at the end. Overall, the blade is durable and nicely finished, but lacks the overall polish and finish of most higher end katana. The tsuba is finished nicely, and the theme is a dragon cutout of the tsuba's body. It is made of iron and does have a blackened finish, though most of that is worn off over the years. Iron tsuba are quite common in the production market today, but 10 years ago, most production katana, especially in the budget price range, were made of cheap alloy and were generally ugly and weak. Having an iron tsuba definitely stood out at the time when it came to these Musashi Katana, and I believe set a standard for what was to be expected in the sub 300 market up to today. The Suka has a nice shape, but of course is on the bulky side like most sub $300 katana. This was definitely common for production katana of the time this sword was purchased. It does have a nice curvature and is well made and durable, and has had no cracks or sign of wear in the decade that I've owned it. The Ito is of the cheaper cotton seen on most sub $200 katana, but it was wrapped very well. So well that it hasn't shifted or frayed in the decade that I've owned it. One thing I've always been impressed by in regards to Musashi is their consistency in offering nice, tight tsukamaki. This is something many budget manufacturers and brands fail on even today. The Samagawa panels are also finished well and have shown no signs of real wear or tear, but have aged. The Fuchi and Kashira are cast brass and have held up moderately well. Of the two, the Kashira has shown the most wear, as the blackened finish has worn off over the years. The saya is in good condition, and but does show a few nicks and dings to its finish. These were my fault from obviously a few drops and dings over the years. Overall though, this saya has held up very well and is sturdy and strong, and it fits the sword extremely well with no rattle and nice and tight friction fit that has never loosened the whole time that I've owned this sword. The Tsukimaka and Saya fit are definitely the highlight of this sword, as just the overalls, again, Saya fit, very smooth, again, no rattle, and nice and tight. Overall, I've always been impressed by Musashi as a manufacturer, and they are my #1 recommendation to beginner enthusiasts looking for a budget katana. For a sub $200 katana to offer so much in regards to fit and finish, durability, and simple aesthetic makes Musashi an easy choice, even compared to some higher priced katana in the sub $300 price range, and is of course a good starting option for anyone getting into collecting, backyard cutting, or even formal training. Sure, you're not getting the best katana on the market, but for under $200, you are definitely getting a lot more than what one would expect from the price range. Add in the potential longevity of the models, and I believe anyone would be happy owning one of these swords. One thing to remember is that there are a few different ranges of Musashi brand katana. This line used to be known as the Shirakawa line, and were defined by offering differentially hardened 1060 blades, iron tsuba, and alternating cotton Ito with real Samagawa panels. Below the Shirakawa line is what is known as the Musha line, and these normally feature 1045 thoroughly hardened blades with faked etched Haman and synthetic non-alternating Ito. Then there is their gold and silver line, which features the same fit and finish as the Shirakawa line, but normally have more aesthetic given to the fittings and blades by the blades being either T10 differentially hardened or folded with either a mix of 1045 and 1060 or 1060 and 1095 high carbon steels. Just be aware that the fit and finish of the sub $100 Musha line will not be up to par with the other high price lines. But if you are new to sword collecting or training and want to try out a functional katana without the expense of higher priced katana or the risk of Chinese direct vendors, definitely give Musashi a try. Well, I hope you enjoyed this re-review of the Musashi Shirakawa Dragon Katana. Be sure to like and subscribe, as well as look forward to future re-reviews of older swords in my collection. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.